Hi everyone, it's Mark and Darren here from the Heath Leisure Suite on Heath Live. Just going to have a sit down and a little chat with Darren, and today's topic is running, right? What better man to talk about running, right? So you just want to let us know what you've done, Daz?
Thank you, Rob, for that, Mark. It's always, this is going to be enjoyable, isn't it? I took up athletics in 1991. My background was actually football before that. In 1991, I took for athletics, and I had a goal that was to try and become an international athlete, and that was my goal, and I achieved that in 1998. And I represented Scotland, and then from there I've gone into Masters Athletics, where I've been very successful. And Masters Athletics starts at the age of 35 and goes in 5-year age bands. And now I'm 50 years old, but all through from 35 to 50 I've done world records, won world championships, European championships, so I've done a lot, been very successful.
Yeah, well, we all know about that, don't we, Daz? Yeah, he likes to let everyone know. So if you could, obviously you've got the background, you know, you've been there, you've done it. What kind of tips could you give to people at home now who, you know, haven't got much to do, might start doing a little bit of running to get out of the house, keep themselves in shape during this lockdown period? What kind of tips could you give them? So, what would your first tip be?
My first tip would be, you need a goal. You need some sort of goal, and a training diary is a massive part of my training program, because without it, I can look back. I started in 1991, and I have a training diary from 1991 until today.
I've actually seen that diary, and I couldn't believe it. It's nearly as old as me.
Thanks, Mark. Yes, it is as old as you. But it's one way of looking back to see exactly what I did to train. So that piece of advice for anyone, whether it's to lose weight, to train for a marathon or a charity 5k, 10k, that's up to you. But the training diary is a massive thing, because you can also, it's not just about your training, it's about your food as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way you feel. Each day you feel differently.
Yeah. So with training diary, what the kind of things would you just write down? What day you've done and how far you've ran? Would you need some sort of plan, or would you just kind of just write down what you're doing and then just try and beat it every day? What tips would you give to people to how to use that training plan?
Well, first and foremost, it all depends on what level you're at to start your training program. I was already a relatively fit. I was pretty fit before I started, but someone who's just starting out, first of all, you've got to write what is your goal.
Yeah.
Right, that's your first and foremost, what it is you want to do.
So if you're at home now and we've got this lockdown, we don't know how long it's going to be, do we? So what you could do is just try and set a 4-week goal.
Yeah, it could be a four-week goal, but it's blocks, but you should have an ultimate goal, Mark, really, for me. So even in this lockdown, you still might say, use this time wisely to say, I want to do a marathon, or I want to do a charity 10k. It doesn't matter, you know, you've got your couch to 5k's, and you've got your couch to 10k's, whatever it is. Yeah. But you go, right, there's my goal, I want a let's say, example, 5k, I want to do a 5k charity. You know, and it doesn't have to be charity, it could be, I want to improve my 5k. But there's your goal, you've got your goals set, yeah? So what you have mini goals then going up. So your first goal, you think you're a bit overweight, you need to lose weight, get out that door and start walking and start preparing your food. Yeah. And then you'll see you still weight loss, and as you start from walking, and you start walking, going into a jog, and that's exactly what you write down then, isn't it? So Monday, you've gone for a walk, yeah? So you don't have to time it. Have a day off, then the next day, well, let's say I can walk a little bit quicker, as you say. Yeah. Just have it a graph, slowly get a little bit quicker.
Yeah. So, first tip of the day would be to keep a training plan and also break that down into goals, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely. Okay.
So, anything else? What would you suggest, as in, what I see in the gym a lot is people don't do enough stretching and mobility work, right? Which I think is very important and something that not a lot of us do. I'll hold my hand up. I don't do enough of that myself. What tips on stretching could you give there?
I think we're all in the same boat with stretching, I'll be honest with you. Not enough people do it, and that's where we have a lot more injuries coming, because we do a lot of one thing and then we don't sort of back it up and say we need. Well, massage is another big thing, but stretching. People ask me many times, should I stretch before I train? The answer to that question is no. Do not stretch before you train. Mobility work before you train, yes. You warm your body up before you train.
So what examples would that be then?
Well, if you were doing weight training, most guys come in the gym and just go and hit the weights. For me, you should spend 3 to 5 minutes warming up. And specific to what you're doing, if you're doing upper body exercises, warm up on an upper body exercise. So for me, a cross trainer, rowing machine, warm up 3 to 5 minutes and you'll get a better performance. If you're going to do a leg session, bike, jog, do you know what I mean?
Get the heart rate up,
exactly.
Muscles off.
Yeah, and it's something that we all miss on. If you get that, you'll get a better performance in the gym. Stretching should be done after it. Okay, so after you finish your training, then you need to stretch. And again, specific to what you're training, you're doing a leg day, stretch down to your hamstrings, your quads, your calves. Yeah? And what it does is not just, it'll help you the risk of getting injured. So if you do your upper body, you stretch out afterwards. So that's what it's all to do with, lessen the likelihood of you getting injured. That's what stretching is about.
That's the last thing we want, isn't it? So frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't train, can you?
Exactly.
We're all there and we go, I can't, I've got a bad shoulder. You can't train. But I always say, if you do get an injury, work around it and do things that you can do. Don't concentrate on what you can't do. If you've got a bad shoulder, you can't do shoulders, but you can still do legs. And you can still do abs. So do things that, and it'll keep you going, and do rehabilitation work.
So with stretching, do you do any sort of yoga? Have you done any Pilates for your core in the past, anything like that? Do you find that beneficial?
Do you know what? That's something that I've never ever done, only because I am very. Someone going to yoga class, Pilates, I'd be just trying to disrupt the class, Mark. You know what I'm like. I like to have a laugh and a joke, and for me, I'd get a little bit
too quiet for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too quiet for me. But there's so many benefits of yoga or Pilates, because it's not just it's the mental health stuff. Do you know what I mean? Right. It's more relaxing. It doesn't suit me as I'm too much of a hyperactive person.
Right. So what we'll say is then, tip number 2 would be to make sure you're stretching and you're working on your mobility, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Alright, cool. So what would tip number 3 be?
I think the tip number 3 for me is, a lot of people don't mention footwear. People who go out generally a lot of running, and they always seem to get a lot of injuries with the Achilles, calves, knees, hips, and generally that's through the footwear and overuse because you're just training all the time. Stretching and mobility comes in. But footwear, I mean, everyone gets footwear, but what they do is, you'll know yourself.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's not. It's getting a bit warm. But the thing is,
you see that? Can you show them that?
I don't even see that. It's getting a bit warm now. Overuse. But the thing is, everyone goes and saying they love the trainers. So they fit them like slippers, and they go, "Well, I love my trainers." But the thing is, there's no support. The support's gone. So what happens is, I keep running on this trainer, I will get injured because it'll either go my calf, my Achilles, my knee, and my hip, will all get tight IT bands, especially long distance runners, IT bands.
So what kind of trainers should people be buying to go out running?
It's not, I don't think it's
Is there any sort of trainer, sportswear trainer, gym wear trainer?
A quality trainer is what you need. You don't want a fashion shoe, you want a quality running trainer, yeah? Depending what you're doing. If you're a runner, which the topic is running, you need a good quality running trainer. But don't keep it going for like getting a year out of it when it's actually all gone. You know what I mean? Change your trainer regularly, and also go check your gait analysis done, which means to find out if you pronate, how you run, and you'll get that from your trainer, believe it or not. If you take your trainer off, and it's an old trainer, you'll find where are you actually running on your foot.
It's quite interesting that really, isn't it? I think you're going to check your mileage actually.
Yeah, you check your trainers or an old pair of trainers, and you'll just find where it wears a lot, and you'll find that's where you're striking the floor.
Yeah.
And you know, a gait analyst will give you the perfect trainer to suit your running style.
Yeah.
And people get on top of that and change them more regularly than they do.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive, but at the end of the day, if you're getting injured, you're going to spend money on physios.
So what's more important?
Yeah, that's what it is, more important. But that's definitely a massive tip.
So we're saying tip number 3 would be footwear.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now just thinking, I'm not a runner, but there are different ways of working on your running, isn't there? So I know there's intervals, there's fartlek, just long endurance runs and sprints. What would you recommend to people who are just starting off?
Well, first and foremost, as I said before, you've got your walking, but for running, many people go out the door and just run. And that's fine, I'm happy with that. But if you want to take it to a little level where you want to improve your running, your running style, want to get a little bit quicker, then there's loads of ways. I say, well, this is where the training log comes in, because don't just go out and just do a 5k run or a 10k run, whatever you run, and just stick to that same routine, because it'll come boring and it'll come.
You need to mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the training log would, if I personally was training for, let's say, a 5k or a 10k, and I want to just improve my 10k, the one thing I'd do is I'd go out the door and what I call a recovery run, which is you just go for a run. You're not bothered about the time. You're just going for a nice run. For your well-being. Yeah, an enjoyable run, and that's it. But then the next run should be, right, okay, you break your 5k, I want to do a faster 5k. So break it down, you've got hill training, run up hills, yeah? You get a hill, it's 100 metres long, or maybe a bit longer, but you run up that, walk back down, run back up that, that'll give you great fitness. And it's a different type of training.
That sounds quite hard, that, to be honest.
It is, it'll get the heart and lungs going really brilliantly. But the good thing is it will improve your overall fitness. So that could be a session that you go, I'm going to do 6 hill runs over 100 metres, or a bit longer, and then walk back down and do that. Breaks that monotonous of just doing it flat. Another great one example, football field. We all got a football field that we can run around. Now that's what we call, you could use that as speed endurance. So you run around that field as fast as you can, round the perimeter of the football field, and then have 2 to 3 minutes rest, and see if you can do 6 to 8 of them. Very, very hard session, but a session that will give you great benefits for the 5k. Then you go for a 5k at race pace, and then the next one, back to your recovery run. There's your little block. Yeah, different sessions.
And if you're out running on the road, you could also use lampposts. So,
fantastic idea, man.
Walk one, jog one, sprint one.
Yeah.
You don't just have to go out and just go for a run. Right? Try and vary your speeds or your distances, just to try and improve yourself as well.
Yeah.
So is that tip number 4?
Yes, definitely.
So what we call that?
Varied speed.
Yeah, varied speed. There you go. Tip number 4. All right. So we've got a tip number 5. We're running out of tips now.
No, definitely not.
Right. Okay. Good. So 5.
I definitely number 5 would be strength and conditioning, which would come under, to me, circuit training. A lot of people that are runners seem to miss the gym out. I'm not saying we haven't got a gym available at the moment, but it's a massive part of staying injury free. Is having good core stability. So for me, the next tip would be strength and conditioning, which can be done as circuit training. We have some fantastic classes already on Heath Live.
Yeah, check them out.
Check them out, because we've got the HIIT training, which is fantastic. We've also, you've got your yoga and Pilates, I think we've got there.
So
they come under stretching and mobility. So there you go. So definitely number 5 is strength and conditioning, circuit training.
So, as in strength and conditioning and circuit training, what type of exercises should people be doing?
For me, overall body.
Right.
Upper and lower all together, based as circuit training.
Right. What specific exercises? So you're talking squats, press-ups, lunges.
Yeah.
What exercises that they can do at home?
Well, we all know we can do press-ups. If you can't do full formers, we do half press-ups. You've got static lunges, you've got squats, you've got sit-ups, you've got burpees, all body weight exercise. And I think we have classes basically like that you can do. And if they're hard on your own, you can do high knee running on the spot, skipping on the spot. There's so much you can do as a circuit. It's what equipment and how varied you can be. There's the plan. You plan your circuit. And you don't just do the same circuit week in, week out. Change it. Change the order.
And that also goes back to the training diary, where week 1 you might do 10 reps of press ups, so you've got that in your diary. Week 2, check your diary, right, last week I've done 10, this week I've got to do 12 or 15. So
Exactly.
you're also looking for progression.
Yes, and what comes with progression, even people who are looking for weight loss, they will get weight loss because they've got a plan. You're always trying to, it's not about competing against you, it's about yourself.
Yeah.
It's about doing the best for you,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. It's for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like your meal plans, it's you that goes, I'm going to eat that bar of chocolate, isn't it? And that's mental strength, and it becomes, well, do I want that bar of chocolate? If you want to try and lose weight, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Pack it, Chris, don't eat it. It's your choice.
You're in control, basically.
Yeah, you're in control.
So tip number 5 would be strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on to tip number 6.
Food, what we've just mentioned.
Alright, yeah.
Food.
You've done well there, the kind of...
Yeah, I've drifted that on, yeah. I'm forward planning. But definitely food, because now is a perfect opportunity to sort your meals out, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
what better time now? You can do home cooking.
Yeah,
There's no excuse why you cannot prep your meals now.
definitely.
So that's a massive, massive one, and that not just for people who are losing weight, that is for people who want to get a better performance while training,
Yeah.
because food makes a massive importance for
I think
how
a
you
lot,
train.
a lot of people's excuse not to be able to prep the food or eat the right kind of food is time, isn't it?
Exactly.
And now we've all got a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah, it's not. We don't have to have microwave meals now. We're not in a rat race.
Yeah.
But basically, you can learn a lot from this. I always turn a negative into a positive, me, man. That's the way I am.
Yeah.
So if I can't do something, and you know what, I can't do it, but what can I do? Perfect opportunity is now. It really is.
Definitely. If you are struggling with some meal ideas, we do have some video recipes on the Heath Live, and we should have some more cooking recipes coming soon as well. Right then, so tip number 6 was food.
Yes, definitely.
Have we got another one? Number 7.
Number 7, Mark. Self-motivation. And a little tip for most people is, and most people do now, they have the headphones on, don't they? Do play, even in the house, try and get some music on away headphones, because as we know, music is a massive boost your morale.
Yeah.
So the tip is keep using your music and get yourself in that mood. But as we were talking about planning before, if you say, I'm going to stretch at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, do it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever plan you write down, yeah, I'm going to have my breakfast at 8 AM, I'm going to have this.
Yeah.
Plan it.
Yeah.
So that's the bit, honestly, that is the biggest tip of all.
As in motivation, it kind of got to come within, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
The first week of lockdown, I've got me kids at home. I'm literally sitting on my sofa watching the telly. Me weights are on my left hand side, and I just couldn't be bothered. Right, I'll be honest. I did a bit of training, just ticking over, but I lost all motivation.
Right.
Only week 2 now is that I'm more motivated, the hunger's coming back a little bit. So I had a bit of a bad time, things weren't going very well, I've had to close the gym. But that motivation's got to come within, so you've got to kind of want to do that. And if you don't find something that you enjoy, it might not be running, it might not be weights,
Nope.
it might be something else. But you've got to find that within yourself to get yourself motivated and do something. Now, I pretty much lost all motivation, but I still did something. It wasn't really productive, there was no intensity, but I still did something to kind of hold on what I did have. And then I found the hunger come back again, right? So it's trying to find something that you enjoy and just having that little bit of hunger where I've got to do it, not have a...
I have to do it.
Yeah, I have to
if
do
it
it,
becomes
not-
a chore, Mark,
I don't have to
if
do
it becomes a
that.
chore, then that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with people trying to lose weight, because everyone has good intentions, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like January, everyone has that intent, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, and then it just slides down. And I just think, why do we have such a buzz, and then why do we lose it? So we've got to find ways of...
It's capturing and keeping that motivation.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
And
I think one of the main ones is just find something you enjoy. And
Yeah.
not every session is going to be really good, so don't be disappointed if you do have a session and you didn't beat what you did last week, or you didn't feel as good after it, or you didn't feel as good during it. That's going to happen. I have that a lot.
We all have
it
that.
Doesn't matter. The next day is a new start. Go again.
It's simple as this. What you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
It's simple. When I train, I don't always hit my training what I'm going to do, but I don't just go, oh, that's it. You know, because I still get the endorphins, I still get the good feeling afterwards that I've actually trained. And sometimes I'm proud of myself because I think I've not done as well, but do you know what? I've gone out there and done it.
Yeah.
I've gone out there and done my training where most people go, oh, can't be bothered to say the weather's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll go, you know yourself, I've gone out there in awful conditions, and I've come back in here and you go, I can't believe you've gone out and done that. And I go, well, it's only me to do it. I can't rely on anyone else. I want to be the best at what I do. I'm just saying, well, you be the best you can be, Mark. The best of whoever, Joe Blogs, you know, be the best you can be.
Yeah. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just do what you can do. Okay, that's all that matters. So was that tip number 7?
Yeah, be you.
Yeah, be you.
Be happy. Be you, be happy.
So tip number 7, we'll say mindset and motivation.
Yes, definitely.
Alright, cool. Tip number 8.
Oh, tip number 8.
Must be running out of tips now.
Yeah.
What have you got for us, lads?
Oh, tip number 8. Enjoyment. We'll be just discussing enjoyment,
kind of flowing on,
but it is flowing on because if you don't enjoy something, you won't do it. It's like meals, isn't it? You prep a meal, and like if you haven't eaten chicken and rice every day, you come away thinking, oh, I can't be bothered eating this again. You know what I mean? I don't really enjoy it, and I think that's where a lot of people fail because they don't enjoy it. People don't enjoy the gym, Mark. They do it for a month, you won't see them again because they don't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you don't enjoy what you do, you won't do it.
No.
So my thing is, enjoy it. Try it. Well, if you haven't got that love for it, then you know that's a difficult part.
And I think it is going to be hard while you're at home because you've got to go out and find ways and find something new to enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of that's going to be online now. So you know there are groups out there that you might be interested in. Just give it a go, and you'll never know. You might find something that you really enjoy, or try something new.
I tried something new at the age of 47.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up. I loved. What's his face now? The greatest decathlon we've ever had. Davy Thompson.
Oh, there we go.
Davy Thompson was always my hero. So at the age of 47, I decided I wanted to do a decathlon. I've never done pole vault in my life. I've not done hurdles and javelin and all this. And do you know what? I thought, I'm going to have a go.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
I did win British. I did in the first ever go. I did win the British Championship.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for them to drop that in there.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's not got his medal behind him.
But the point being, Mark, I tried something new.
Yeah,
I'd always thought about wanting to do it, but I was frightened of doing. I mean, the pole vault was the first one. I thought, my God, never pole vaulted in my life. But I went to Manchester. Indoors, and I contacted the guy saying, can you help me pole vault? And I was frightened to death.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's what you've got to do. You go, and that's exactly what you're saying. Try something. Maybe you've never done it before. Go, I'd love to have a go. Don't just say it. Do it.
Just get out there and have a go. There's nothing to stop you. You've got the time now. If you don't enjoy it, you know, find something else. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
definitely.
tip number 8 would be find something you enjoy.
Yes, find something that you enjoy. Yes. Don't ask me for any more tips now, Mark, but otherwise I'm going to find it a long time on this sofa.
Right. Before we do finish this, then what are you doing now then during this time to keep yourself in shape? Obviously, you're at a high standard. So what are you doing yourself to keep yourself in good condition?
Well, to be fair, Matt, not really that much changes for me. I know I haven't got access to a gym, I haven't got access to a track, but as I've stated before, I plan and go, dead out the way, so what can I do? Yeah. So I can still go out and run, so I'm still doing hill training, short hills specific for sprinting, so I'll do my hill training, I do circuit training, I'm still doing my 300, so my distance I do sprints, then endurance session, and then an endurance session where I do long runs. I'll go out for a run, just do a couple of miles for me. Yeah. So, and again, I just have my training program. And to be honest with you, I've got more time to stretch and do mobility work that I couldn't do before.
Yeah,
so I can do more. I can actually fit in the more.
I think that's the funny thing now is that everyone's got more time at home, and a lot of people can kind of live that athlete life.
Of course you can.
Obviously, you haven't got the gym. You know, we understand that. You can find ways around it. but you can train, you can eat, and you can live more like an athlete now more than ever.
Of course you can. You can act more. In fact, you can be more as a professional
So
athlete.
you could look at that as a new opportunity, really.
Fantastic, because people who are on even on a weight loss program or anything like that, this is perfect because they can actually apply it into their lives right now,
Yeah.
and then they can look and go, do you know what? Since this been locked down, I've actually lost weight because the way you've structured your life differently.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's about. Touching on something, Mark, I'd like to say that about massage and stuff. I do have a regular massage. I know we can't do that anymore, but massage is fantastic for people who do a lot of running or a lot of activities, because people don't do it. They sort of say, oh, I don't need it. But for me, once a month, people should get a massage done. And for runners, definitely your calves, your hamstrings and your quads. Very important to me. And if you can't do that, then there's the foam rollers. Foam rollers you can use now. Not as good as a masseur, because I'd always say massage definitely number one for me, because I find they get in all the nooks and crannies and give you a lot more pain than you sat with a foam roller. When you get a foam roller, you think, well, it hurts, but that's it. You're not going to do
stop
anything.
on the foam roller.
Yeah, but if you got some sadistic masseur, they'll be there giving it. No, you can get that. Really get in there. So to me, a masseur would be a lot more.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else to add there, is there?
No, I think we've covered most things, Mark, and it's been very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I just hope that people out there at home have picked up the odd point or two, and if they haven't, can they not throw a question in there?
Don't forget to sign up as a member on the Heath Live, okay? And if you have got a question based on what we've discussed today, just send it in to us and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, because we can give you some training tips.
Yeah.
I'm happy to give any training tips or anything like that, and food-wise and stuff. So yeah, stretching, mobility, any subject that we've touched on today, happy to help.
Yeah, so I think that kind of finishes the video. Just want to say thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hope everyone's safe and well. Okay, make sure you look after each other, and we hope to see everyone back in the gym as soon as possible.
And don't forget, keep that social distancing.
Yeah. Cheers.
Bye-bye.